So you're going to your very first con, or maybe your 15th. You know probably that you're supposed to drink plenty of water, try to get some sleep, and remember to bathe. But what about nighttime safety? Now, when I say nighttime, I mean after dark. And when I say after dark, I mean 18 plus content. Let's start off with the tamer things you might get into. Room parties. If you're at a con, you might get invited to a room party with your friends. They're fun, they can get wild, and it's usually a pretty good time. Now, if you're under the age of 21, you might not get invited as often due to there being alcohol present. Don't take this too personally, though. The hosts are probably making sure that if the party gets busted, they're not caught serving alcohol to anyone. Now, some people at cons like to partake in things a little stronger than alcohol. Things you may not be able to get at the local liquor store or Walmart. I mean drugs. If you get into a room party and there are things you don't really want to partake in, you've got a few options here. Leave if that sort of thing makes you uncomfortable. Don't drink or take anything you don't want to, and just hang out. Now, if you get yourself into a real rip-roaring time at a party and at any point don't feel okay, make sure you tell a friend or politely excuse yourself and go to someone that can help you get back to your room safely. Now, with anything, anywhere, ever, don't consume anything without asking about it first or without permission. Similarly, don't drink on an empty stomach, kids, or take anything questionably legal without doing a quick Google search to make sure it won't negatively interact with any medication that you're already on. Don't drink if you're on meds that don't act good with drugs. Don't do it. Now, at some parties, things get a bit sexual. Which leads us to our next topic. Business time. Now, if you're at a con and you're over 18, things might get, spicy. Maybe you just got invited back to someone's room. Maybe you just walked into a room party and things are, heating up. Now, what are some basic things you should know? Let's talk about how to keep it sexy. So sexy. Now, if you just got back to your room and then got invited to another room, things can get a little, spicy. Sexual. Here are some basic things you should do. Ask if the other person has anything you should know about. Yeah, it's not the sexiest thing to ask a person, but, safety is key here, guys. Be safe, make safe decisions, live your life, but, safely, please. Please. Now, if the person you're ready to get, risque with and randy has any kind of sexually transmitted infection or disease, that's a thing you should know before you bump uglies. Alright, so according to the World Health Organization, over 1 million sexually transmitted infections are acquired every day worldwide. Each year, there are an estimated 357 million new infections with one of 4 common STIs, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and trichomoniasis. Hey, that pronunciation though. Not only that, but more than 500 million people are estimated to have a genital infection with HSV. I can read. Yup. For those keeping score at home, that's herpes. That's what that means. So how do you stay safe? How do you keep it sexy and safe? So if the person you're about to get it on with all night long has a sexually transmitted disease, there's a few options for you. You could just not. No one's forcing you to. You don't have to do it. And if you're being forced to do it, that's bad. You could politely ask them about it and learn how to proceed safely. That's a pretty good option. Or you could just ask them if you can cuddle and take some time to research it yourself until you feel comfortable. That's a pretty solid option too. Now, there's no shame in asking questions and being honest in bed. Let's be real, more people should, because that's really fucking sexy. But what if they've never gotten tested or lie about it? This is a pretty big fear for a lot of creatures of the night, as some people can have an STI or STD and be completely unaware of it because they don't show signs or symptoms. That's called being asymptomatic. Because of this, in any given situation, you may not necessarily know what you're potentially exposing yourself to. That's scary. So for this reason, here's a pretty easy checklist for those late night romps to keep you safe and, sexy. Alright, let's go down the list, starting with condoms. Snake wetsuits, the best. So, according to the CDC, male condoms and other barriers like female condoms and dental dams can reduce, though not fully eliminate, the risk of sexually transmitted infection. In laboratory studies, male condoms made of latex demonstrate an essentially impermeable barrier to particles the size of STI pathogens. Thanks, CDC! They're also 89 to 99% effective at preventing pregnancy. From a single ladies out there, allergic to latex? I am too. That's why you can also purchase condoms, dental dams, and certain female condoms and other materials such as polyurethane and polyisoprene. Those are some SAT words right there. So, for those who want to keep it sexy, here are some alternate condoms on screen and what they're made of that isn't latex. You're welcome. Of course, condoms are only effective if you use them correctly, so in case you skipped sex ed as a kid, here's a super appropriate visual for how to wrap your willy. Boundaries. Before you get ready to make it sexy, tell the other person if there are things you're not okay with. Got things you like? Tell them that too if you're comfortable. Safe words. Alright, something making you feel unsafe, not into what's going on. There's no shame in tapping out when things get really scary. While no and stop are pretty effective if you're about to get into some really spicy territory with kinks, set up an easy, understandable safe word so the other person knows when to stop. My personal favorite? Pineapple. Clean underwear. Yeah, that's kind of a weird one. Let me explain. If you're at a con and you think you might get into a situation where things get hot and heavy, you might not really be thinking about hygiene, but you should. While being a musky husky might be your thing, at the very least, make sure you take a minute to shower and change into some clean undie pants to prevent nasty things like UTIs and other bacteria complications. They're not fun. Suiting with a UTI sucks a lot. Toys. If you like toys and you plan to use toys, clean your toys. If you plan on using said toys on multiple lucky participants, make sure you use a different condom for each person, and for God's sake, clean your toys! Thank you for joining us on this extra sexy After Dark video. I hope everyone stays extra sexual. Okay, but most of all safe. Just be safe. Not covered here, but also a good idea, get tested. If you're not really sure if you have anything or not, there is no harm in getting tested. In most places, it's free. Why'd I make this video? Because I heard some stuff at MFF about people being like, oh my god, why is there sexual testing at this facility? I don't want furries to be involved with that. Well, you know what I also don't want? Furries running around, being unsafe, getting diseases, and overall just being unhappy because they've got said diseases and are ultra screwed. So, hopefully this helps everyone. Did you enjoy this After Dark video? Leave me a comment suggesting other 18 plus topics to cover and I might just do it. Anyways,
stay sexy, everyone.
Okay, so we covered a lot of topics in this video, but one thing I do also want to call everyone's attention to that was not directly addressed in the extra sexy portion was if you have yourself an STD or an STI, that is actually okay. A lot of people have it. It is obviously very traumatic, but don't feel like there is nowhere to turn or you are completely and provincially screwed. There are great support networks out there, and if you do, just remember, be honest with every potential partner you could have, and just be really safe. You're not alone, it's okay, and you're gonna be fine. And if you ever feel super uncomfortable and are not sure where to turn, please feel free to email me. I would be more than happy to forward you any information to help you get through either discovering that you have one or currently surviving with one. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.